Yeah.
So, bro, we're gonna do your little intro here, man, and we're gonna check it out. You got some stuff for us today, so I'm excited to talk about it. So, everybody, put your hands over your ears because this is probably gonna be loud. There we go. All right, so Briz, what are you bringing to the table today, my man? What's going on?
All right. Well, everyone is kind of the sentiment across the entire world is really down right now. Just
Yeah.
everything's down, the regular markets, the traditional markets, the gas prices are up, the soup lines are long, and everyone is having a real bummer of a time. All the cryptos are going down, and Hex looks like it's like in a spiral. But you know what? This is what it felt the first like month of being in Hex. You had everyone talking so much crap,
Yeah.
and the price just kept going down, and people were making fun of us because Hex was only worth one Satoshi.
Mm.
And the only reason why it wasn't worth less is because the centralized exchanges didn't do anything less than a Satoshi.
And so here's what's cool. There's a lot of people in chat here that weren't around in the beginning, man. And man, you guys put up with just barrage after barrage for years, man. So you
Yeah.
you bring a cool perspective to this.
Yeah, and and luckily the staking really helped me from really fudding out. And one of the things that I thought about was that in the early days was I was like, hey, if Hex doesn't have the acceptance of the mainstream crypto YouTubers, I wasn't sure if Hex was actually going to survive, because we needed that media marketing campaign to help spread the word, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've decided today, and then eventually we actually got a bunch of YouTubers to step up and really kind of help bring Hex into the mainstream of crypto. So today, I thought I'd put together a little something that could help everyone ask themselves, what can they do to help? So this is going to be 3 things that you can do to help spread awareness of Hex and Pulsechain. All right.
Let's see it, man. I'm pretty excited. I saw some of the slides earlier.
All right. Oops. So the first thing that we can do is spread the word. You tell your friends, tell family and coworkers. Um, if you have enough of them, you can open up like a small Facebook group or a Telegram channel and invite your friends and family into it and have open discussions with a fairly small group of people that you can have more of an intimate conversation, maybe share finances together if you're that close, but just kind of like really seek answers without being like thrown into the 60,000 Telegram member group, right? The next thing you could do is when you're in public, you can ask merchants if they accept cryptos
Hmm.
yet. And specifically, ask them if they accept Hex and Pulse Chain. I used to do that a lot back in the day. I used to just like every time I'd go to pay for something, I'd just ask the cashier, "Hey, do you accept Bitcoin yet?"
Mm-hmm.
That was a big thing back then.
Sure, sure.
And they were like, "Bit what?" That was the most common answer. Accept the what? A Bitcoin?
Yeah.
No. And then I remember one time I stepped into like a that little it's like the subway of pizza shops where you make your own little pizza in
Mhm.
like 10 minutes. And they're like, yeah, we do accept cryptos. My boss has a terminal back here. She blows the dust off of it. No one's ever asked if we to pay in crypto, but you do that enough, you spread the word. It puts that little seed in people's brains. All right. Another thing that I like to do is I like to hand out business cards with Hex and Pulsechain info on them. In fact, check this one. I got this right here. I got this little card right here. This is hex.com,
Where
pulsechain.com,
did you get
Richard.
those, and how much do you think it cost you there?
I actually made, well, I found the card online. I think Abit made this card originally.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just modified it a little bit with like the richardhart.com,
Nice.
and that QR
QR
code
code scan.
goes to like I think that one just goes to hex.com, but you can make that go to like your channel. Um you can have these made at Staples for about 25 bucks for 500. So they're pretty affordable. And you can do it all online, and then you just order it, and you can actually pick it up at the store for free, or have them shipped to your house for a delivery charge.
Cool. Outstanding.
You can also make stickers and try and put them everywhere, because really the whole thing about advertising, or it's about when people see stuff repeatedly,
Mhm.
it will start to become normalized in their head. They'll just go, okay, they see Hex 5 times. They're just gonna think, okay, the Hex crypto, yeah, it's that other crypto with all those other cryptos, but eventually it becomes normalized.
Yeah, so I think what's the rule? It's something like the 7 times that somebody has to see something before it
Exactly.
really sticks, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's
So,
like 5, 7 times. All right.
outstanding. All right.
The next thing we can do, so these things are kind of stuff that are pretty much free. Maybe a little bit of cost with the stickers and the business cards, but it's kind of free stuff. If you want to step up your game a little bit, you can actually start to advertise
Ooh, all right.
for Hex and Pulsechain. One of the things that Richard used to talk about back in the day was the tragedy of the commons. That was a big part of Bitcoin, because no one owned enough of it. No one wanted to put millions and millions into the marketing. Therefore, not that much marketing got done for a lot of these cryptos. Just no one owned a big enough bag. And that was actually one of the things that kind of sold me on Hex before it launched, was the no expectation of work from others, but you know someone is going to have a big bag, and they're not going to let the tragedy of the commons play out.
Absolutely.
Another thing you can do is maybe try and get some billboards. I have no idea how much those cost. Um,
I
right,
think it depends on how much traffic that gets seen with those billboards.
right. Another thing, like I said in the last one, you can hand out business cards with Hex and Pulsechain info on them. They, just keep a few in your card, and if you see a Lambo, go put it under the windshield wiper or something like that. You could try sponsoring sports teams or individuals.
Mhm.
I've heard of people talking about sponsoring like little league baseball teams with banners on the fence in the back. Also, maybe you can sponsor like an MMA fighter or a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter going into a tournament. Get them some Hex shorts or something, or a rash guard with the Hex stuff on there. Another advertisement possibility is the Firefly car ads. I don't know if you know what those are, but those look like the shark fins on top
Oh,
of the
yeah.
cars.
That's right.
They're like little LEDs on
Oh,
top of
yeah.
the actual cars, like the taxi cabs and stuff.
Yeah.
but I see them a lot around my city with just regular cars. So I wanted to try and buy one of those and just put it on my car, but I couldn't really find where to buy one other than from Alibaba.
Well, yeah, as long as you buy 10,000 units at 5 pennies a piece, you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, the next thing you could do is maybe wrap your vehicle. You know, you saw the German fellas wrap their Audi with the Hex and Pulsechain stuff. Um, you know, that's a cost. That's a little more expensive, but that's one thing you could do. Another thing is license plates. We've seen some license plates. Again, it's all about that hitting people with the hex and pulse chain stuff just enough to where it normalizes for them. Excuse me. And then the last thing I put on here is online ads in Facebook and other social media. That's a little bit harder, but it can be done.
So, one thing I'll tell people based on my experience with like postcards, for example, if you do send out postcards or you do send out business cards in the mail, the biggest mistake people make is, let's say they do a one-time blast out of 5,000 postcards, right? So they just blast it out to one zip code, 5,000 postcards. The issue with that is, those are going to be, most of them are going to be taken and they're going to be thrown away in the trash. A better thing to do here is pick a middle class to upper middle class or higher zip code. And you want to take those 5,000 cards and you want to divide it into 8 blasts. So about 625 a piece over the course of about 8 weeks. So just like you said, it's better when people can see this many times. And some people are going to get frustrated with you because they're going to get the same thing over and over. Whatever,
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. So what you can do, those 625 cards 8 times, it's going to end up on somebody's kitchen counter. It's going to end up on somebody's table. Eventually, 1 or 2 or 3 of these aren't going to make it to the trash. And people, sometimes these things end up on the refrigerator. And these people walk by it for 2 or 3 months. They see some ad on Facebook or they see something else and says, "Wait a minute, do I have one of those? Do I have one of those things on my refrigerator in my kitchen?" And then it clicks, and then they go to the website. So that would be my biggest piece of advice. And again, that comes from the real estate marketing world
I
that
like
I
that.
was in. It's much more effective that way.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's a good piece of advice.
absolutely.
All right. And then the third thing I thought people could do to help spread the word and of Hexa Pulse Chain is basically you can become a content creator. Look,
Look at that.
look, guys. If
If
Brandon can do it, anybody can do it. I'm
Gosh, man,
telling you.
that's a great point, man. I tried not to do it, and look what happened.
Now you're dragging other people into the fray.
It's disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. So, what did people need to do here?
Well, there's plenty of things that people can do. One, you could start a YouTube channel. Everybody has a voice and an audience. It doesn't matter, who you are, or if you don't think people are going to watch you. There's other people that want to watch someone just like you. I I got like basically brain damage, and people are always complimenting me. So I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, okay, cool. So as long as the compliments are coming, maybe I'll keep it up a little bit. Another thing you could do is start a TikTok, right? Uh, there's a lot of people on TikTok, and they need to know about Hex and Pulse Chain. Another thing that's possibility is you can just start doing like arts and crafts and posting stuff on Instagram.
Uh huh.
I think that's kind of like, or maybe Pinterest. I didn't think about that. You could do Instagram or Pinterest and just kind of just make it part of the culture. Another thing you can do is make memes. You can kind of just um, like this picture right here. Look. I just all I did was I found this picture, kind of plastered some logos on here, and boom, you got yourself like a little meme.
Easy day.
Easy day. Do it 10 times a day. Make people laugh. And basically, if you build it, they will come. Meaning,
Ooh,
if you start a channel, people are gonna watch you, and people are looking for content like this, and probably what you have to say. So, what? Get out there and say your words.
well, and that's the thing that I want to impress upon people too. uh, if you're in a small town, for example, and you stand in town square and you preach out some message, it doesn't matter what it is. You could be talking about Chinese Revolution, you could be talking about crypto, you can talk about Build-A-Bear. All right, there's going to be a seemingly large portion of people in that town square that aren't going to listen to you. But let's say there's 100 people there and 2 people listen. Okay. Well, you feel bad. You're like, man, there's 100 people here, only 2 people listened. But when you take your message to YouTube and you take your message to the internet, you got to understand that YouTube wants you to be successful. So ultimately, they can advertise. You are the product. So they're going to set you up for success. And
Yep.
they're going to give you people that they think will listen to you based on a lot of different algorithms, etc. So instead of you talking to a crowd of 102 listening, you're talking to a crowd of 1,000, right? And 4 are listening. Or you're talking to a crowd of 10,000. So you see how it scales up: 100,000, 1,000,000 people. You get 2,000, you get 5,000, you get 10,000, you get 20,000 people listening to you. There's enough humans out there that want to listen to you. So you just got to go do it. I can say the same thing as Briz says, which is the same thing that Richard says, which is the same thing as anybody in here says. Some people will take better to Briz's message with the exact same information, his inflection, his tone, his voice, and how he delivers, etc. So I'm really, really big on people understanding that concept and not being afraid to kind of face the crowd, because the crowd is
Yeah.
just they're gonna try to break you down whenever they can. Um, if you have the right type of message, though, I'll tell you this: if you have the right type of message, you can avoid a lot of that trouble, right?
I get almost nothing but positivity from these chats. I don't get the you know I get trolled, but I can tell that the troll comes with love from Russia.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's true. You as long as the message is genuine in the beginning,
Yeah.
and as you grow your channel, you can stay on that message because it's really coming from you. It's coming from your heart. Then you're good. You're good. If you change the message up, that's when people start acting kind of funny, start
Yeah.
acting kind of weird on you.
And another thing too is we most of the hex and pulse chain stuff is in English, and this stuff needs to be put in other languages as well. So if you feel like maybe you don't have something to say, but maybe perhaps you speak another language, honestly, just copy an English channel and just redo it in whatever language you're comfortable speaking, like Spanish, Russian, whatever, Japanese, who cares? But just kind of, you can just basically make content by translating.
Absolutely. Love it, man.
One last thing, I saw Ninja Chopstick in the chat. He said he was a little too old. Uh, and you know what? I guarantee you there is an older crowd that wants to learn about Hex, but maybe they don't trust these young whippersnappers like Brandon over here,
Just
and
think
they
about
want to
Crypto
hear.
Heartbeat. He's old as dirt, and
Yeah,
he's got a channel. Don't worry about it, guys. Just come on
he's
in.
he's got a channel that he wrote in on the Stegosaurus.
That's a
Love you,
good
man.
point.
All right, and I think in conclusion, yeah, everyone has a part to do. This shouldn't be looked at as a lottery ticket, but a self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's like, you just gotta keep filling up your bags until you're ready, and as long as everyone keeps doing that, it's gonna win in the end. Uh, a core tenet of Hex and Richard Hart products is expect no profits from the work of others. Therefore, it is up to you to do some work if you want to see this become successful, right? Uh, Others aren't going to be able to join in if they don't know about it. So we need you to go out there and spread the word. And, technologies don't always matter. The best technology doesn't always win. Usually it's the marketing. Whatever has the best marketing wins. Um, right? And then again, this is a major opportunity to start your own business. There's a lot of money to be made doing this kind of stuff online. Um, and you know how you monetize it, that's going to be up to you, but you can really start your own business uh through Hex, right, or through Pulse Chain. You just got to figure it out.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people think, well, I'm in cryptocurrency and I'm purchasing bags. I'm dollar cost averaging in, and I'm in Pulse Chain, and I'm in Hex, and I'm this and that. Uh, they don't realize that as content creators, as time goes on, and more money, and more people pour into the crypto space at large, those channels that start now can have hundreds of thousands of followers in 5 years, right? And whenever you have the limelight, you make the money. That's just the bottom line. If you have people's attention in mass, then you can make money off of that too. So if you're thinking about using this as a business, you got to think about it that way too. And your influence can be used in a really, really good way to help your community out. So
Yeah,
think about your YouTube channel also as an investment, a time investment as well.
and remember, and let me be clear, it's not about extracting value from the community, it's about adding value
Exactly.
and getting value back.
Yeah. Be
Value for
that
value.
positive influence for your community and bring value in. And that's what that will do.
Exactly.
Briz,
All right,
good stuff,
that's
man.
it.
That was
That's
some
it.
good stuff, man. I mean, let's see what chat has to say here. Looks like
All
you
right.
got some crushes here in chat. F Google, Briz. I'm actually from Yugoslavia. Ross Hex. Thanks, Briz. Outstanding. Box Fan Assassin Guild is after Briz. Okay, Gen
Oh
Hex.
God.
So yeah, man.
I'm in.
DJ Cryptomatic in the chat. I'm a common tragedy. If Bitcoin
DJ
Ben,
Cryptomatic, by the way, sounds like a James Bond villain.
I know he does,
He
right?
has the greatest accent ever.
The man with the golden DJ decks. All right. If Bitcoin Ben can stream, so can you. We love you, Briz. All right. So, Briz, apparently they like you, and they did this last time you were on stream. So, I guess it's not a fluke. So, ladies and gentlemen, get it up. Give it up. I said, get it up. Give it up for Briz. Good job, Briz. We will talk to
All
you
right,
soon, buddy.
thanks, guys. Take
All right.
care.